Although we'll have to wait until next year to see a Broadway show, some local theater companies are coming up with creative ways to keep the show going. First up is Food for Thought. For 20 years, this New York City-based theater company has been putting on one-act shows by award-winning writers, performed by Broadway stars and directors. And now they are bringing live theater back to the city at the Coffee House Club. Susan, as a small theater company, how did you pivot during quarantine?
Everything shut down in New York and all over the country. I'm a New Yorker, so I stayed here. And I said, we have to do theater again. That's my whole background. I'm a playwright. And we have to do live theater. Even if it's 5 people, it's those people sitting there in the same room, watching and emoting and responding to the actors. And if you don't have that, for me, you don't have theater.
So how exactly is this working with safety rules and new regulations?
We're lucky because we can do intimate theater. That's what we're about. So if you have 15 or 20, you can place people 6 feet apart. When people come in, their temperature's taken, and we have masks. As long as this goes well, which it should, our plan is to keep doing these one-act plays once a month with these great actors and director.
With Broadway deciding not to open until next year, why is it important for local theater to stay open and to make sure the show goes on?
So if Broadway has to be delayed, that doesn't mean theater has to be delayed. And New York is what? Associated with theater. And I can't tell you how many people called me and Zoomed me. So there is huge hunger, not just in the city, all over the country for this. If we can show that you can do this safely, and real theater, other theaters are going to be able to do that. They're going to say, okay, we don't have to be scared. The virus doesn't have to control us. We can take control.
Next up, we're here in Laurel Springs, New Jersey, where the Riddlesbrood Touring Theater Company has come up with a unique way to keep their actors busy and fed. Ryan, so we're outside by this beautiful garden, which is not something you generally think of when you think of local theater. But what have you guys done? How have you pivoted during this quarantine?
Well, obviously with everything shut down, at first there was a little bit of a scare because our local supermarkets were empty. There was a lack of food. So we said, you know, maybe we should protect ourselves and our actors and our little troupe to make sure that we have some food. So we decided we're going to start our own victory garden. So that's what we did. We got together to start that. And then it dawned on us that we're going to be doing a lot more outdoor shows because a lot of the venues we can't work inside because of the COVID and the restrictions. So we have to do the outdoor shows. So we put one and one together and realized that, wait a minute, a lot of these farmers markets we used to not be able to do because you have to sell produce in order to get in. But now that we have produce, we said, hey, we're going to do both together. We're going to sell vegetables and do our outdoor performance. So we can add some fun and levity to their little fair, and we can bring some attention to our theaters, which helps us get some more shows. So it's kind of a win-win.
So tell me a little bit more about that, the importance of staying alive as a local theater and what that means to not only the actors, but also for audiences.
Well, we started in 2000, so we're going on our 20th year. And honestly, it's kind of funny, but we've always taken sucker punches every couple years. Like when we opened, it was the end of the dot-com bubble. 9/11 happened, and then the Great Recession, 2008. So we've always been survivors, and we've always had a passion for the arts and a passion for live theater. The nature of what we do is so improvisational. It's so audience participatory. You just can't get that kind of excitement through a computer. So we decided, you know, we're not going to do the virtual thing. We're just going to double down and do more outdoor, and that way the people who are starved for human interaction can get that human interaction in a safe way.
Well, thank you for helping people continue to smile in the midst of all of this uncertainty. This is awesome.